Happy day, friends! Today we are doing the pregnancy, baby, and relationship Q&A. So
questions and answers. You gave us the questions, we'll give you the answers as applied to us. Keep in mind, we are not medical professionals. Do not take anything we say. Just don't take us too seriously. We don't know what we're doing. We're first-time parents.
Yeah.
I am almost 31 weeks pregnant and I feel like I still don't know what's going on. I still have no idea what my body is doing.
Better than what I know, which is
you know hardly anything. For the ride. Quick tip for all you husbands, partners, whoever, if your lady is having a baby, do whatever you can to read up, learn about it. It will make her feel so much better, I promise. Okay, let's get to this. Question number 1. These are in no particular order. I just went through the comments and picked out the ones that I liked, thought were good, thought might help some of you guys out. TuviGirl13 asks, what's something you've had to give up because of your pregnancy?
You're asking me?
Well, like both of us can answer these. Okay. So you go first.
I don't think I've had to give up anything.
He hasn't had to give up anything.
Intimacy.
Intimacy. You've had to give up some intimacy. Wow, we're starting this off real deep. The first thing that comes to mind is coffee. Now, I know a lot of people say you can have coffee during pregnancy, and I have enjoyed a cup of coffee here and there. However, it's not my normal morning coffee routine and afternoon, every so often coffee routine that I used to have. That's like the first thing that stands out because I cut it out cold turkey as soon as I found out I was pregnant. Another thing I feel like I've had to give up is working out like I used to. My body has just not been able to do it, but at the same time, I don't want to overexert myself and push myself to the point of doing harm or getting my temperature high enough to where it could harm the baby. So that's something else I've had to personally kind of ease back on. Captain Kirk asks.
Captain Kirk?
Captain Kirk.
What?
How is Austin doing with all the hormone changes, and what would you both recommend for someone who is still in early pregnancy?
I mean, it's kind of tough, to be honest. Sometimes I just have to grit my teeth and smile, like, I want to kill you.
You should do that more often.
I do it way more than she knows.
Probably. So far, he's been pretty good with it, and up to this point, my hormones really haven't been that bad from what I can tell until this past week. Like this past week, I feel like they've been raging. It's been a little bit difficult for us to handle each other at times. I think we manage it pretty well.
Yeah.
I think this past week has been kind of an eye-opener for the both of us of what we can both do in order to help calm a situation before it escalates.
Yeah.
Hormones, they are very real. The second part of the question was, what would you both recommend for someone who's still early in pregnancy? My biggest recommendation is get to know your body and get to know yourself so that you can tell when your hormones are affecting you. Sometimes you just need to say like, hey, I'm in a mood today, fair warning, just please give me a little more patience than normal. Just a fair warning, I think, helps a lot.
Yeah. I will say, tell your woman how beautiful she is every day.
That doesn't always help. See, he doesn't know.
What do you mean?
Sometimes that's not what I want to hear when I'm feeling bloated and fat and just not myself. I don't want to hear that.
Take note. Next time
sometimes
I'll call you a whale.
You just need to say, hey, no. Sometimes,
what up, Whaley?
Sometimes you just need to say, hey, you want to go get some ice cream today? You don't need to tell me I'm beautiful.
I tell you that all the time.
I know.
All I can say is she can be kind of hard on herself, and as much as other girls can be too. So I feel like just kind of reassuring her in that you still see her the same way you saw her before she was pregnant can be reassuring.
That can be reassuring. Tell your woman that she's doing great.
You're doing great.
You're doing great. You're doing good.
You're winning at life.
Everything's going to be okay. It goes a long way.
Yeah.
Denise McDonald asks, what have your cravings been, and does Austin have any sympathy pains? Watch out for those. Husband can also feel the pains. So my cravings, really, I haven't really had any like strong pregnancy cravings.
I would say I've had some cravings.
He's had more cravings than I have. I
don't know if it's like sympathy weight. Like, I don't know if my body's just wanting to gain weight because like I am craving things that I've never craved before.
Like he's craving ice cream and brownies and like all the sweet stuff that he normally doesn't want. So that's been weird.
Yeah, that has been weird.
Any other sort of sympathy, pains, or symptoms that you've experienced?
Headaches.
That's probably just from me whining sometimes. Stephanie Hahn asks, would you say your guys' relationship has changed since you've gotten pregnant, and if so, in what way? Like happier or more angry with each other? I feel like it's brought us much closer, and at the same time, I mean, we, especially this last week, have been arguing more.
Yeah.
But I think that's all just adjusting to hormones and adjusting to the realization that we're gonna have a baby in 2.5 months or so.
Yeah. Well, and like
so.
a little bit of, I know you hate me saying this, but a little bit of anxiety plays into that.
Yeah.
Because you are
course.
anxious about baby.
Well,
that was kind of like you're
nesting.
breaking down the other day.
Yeah, and I'm nesting, and that in itself is like a weird thing because I feel like I need to get everything done. And he doesn't necessarily understand the whole nesting feeling.
I don't, but I mean, like, I'm always down for having a clean house.
Every little thing that I ask you to do with me, like, that's all part of nesting.
Okay.
Is this an eye-opener for you?
No.
Oh. Dang it. That has kind of put a strain on us in a way, but at the same time, like, we're having a baby, and we couldn't be more excited.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just happy.
I'm excited. I don't even care if I get very little sleep.
Good, because I do. Brittany Merritt says, my husband and I are currently 17 weeks pregnant with our first baby. Congratulations. What's your advice on people trying to give their expert opinions? Haha, love you guys so much. Your videos are helping me get excited for my baby. Okay, people's expert opinions. The way that I view it is that I want to get all the information I possibly can and all the different experiences that I possibly can, because from what I understand, every child is so different, every baby is so different, and what works for one person is not going to work for the other person. So I just like to hear all sorts of things from so many different people, because I mean, you never know what's going to work for you until you know.
Yeah.
Opinions and advice can be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
As far as opinions go, same thing, take it with a grain of salt. Everybody has different opinions on parenting and parenting styles and what you should or shouldn't do, and just figure out what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I've done during this pregnancy. I've just figured out what works for me and what's worked for us. If somebody has a harsh opinion on something that you're doing, consider it, but if it's something that you just don't agree with, then just let it roll off your shoulders.
Yeah.
You know, don't let it get to you, because you're the mom and you know your body and you know what's going to be best for your baby. That's how I feel.
Or maybe you don't.
Or maybe you don't. Maybe you should take somebody's opinion seriously, but just consider what everybody tells you.
Yeah.
And filter it through and figure out what works.
Let it marinate up in the old soup bowl.
Becky Clark says, Jess, where'd you get your shorts? What are your favorite maternity clothing stores? I'm actually wearing these shorts right now that you're talking about. I wear them very often.
Like every day.
I got them at Ross. It's a discount clothing store. That's where I've gotten most of my maternity clothes, I want to say. They just seem to have the biggest selection for what I like at a great cost. So that's where I've gone. I haven't gotten a ton of maternity clothes, but Ross has been my favorite place. Shanti asks, has it ever in your lifetime scared you to get or be pregnant? Even when you found out, did it scare you? Absolutely.
I don't know. I haven't.
You haven't been scared?
Mm-mm.
How not?
The only scares that I think of is like breaking up or divorce or like things that are detrimental to like the current situation.
I won't leave you. Don't worry.
I'm not worried about that.
I've been more scared after the pregnancy, after I found out I was pregnant. You come up with worries and fears, and it's still super exciting, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I've been scared. I think my biggest scare or fear is just not being a good mom, and I know that sounds, I'm gonna cry.
You're gonna be a great mom.
I know I'm gonna be a great mom, and I know that I'm gonna like do whatever I can for my kid, but it's still like a fear.
That's not a fear at all. I feel like you're gonna be a great mom. That's why I picked you as a mate. This is purely for reproductive purposes. You're gonna be great. See, I'm not even worried about that. I'm gonna be an awesome dad. I got you for the brain.
I need a tissue.
I got me for the silliness.
Whew. Dang it.
I think you're gonna be a great mom.
Thanks. Okay, here is a big popular question. What is going to be the name of your soon-to-be-born baby? We don't know yet. We're not just saying that because we don't want to tell you guys. We legit don't know yet. We have talked about this a bunch of times. A lot of you are wondering when we're going to reveal the name. And we decided that we're going to reveal the name after the baby is born. That's for a bunch of different reasons. But all that aside, we really don't know what our baby girl's name is going to be yet.
I mean, I have ideas for names that I love.
And I have some ideas of names that I love, but we can't seem to come to an agreement on something. Or even if we do kind of agree on something, it just doesn't necessarily feel like, oh yeah, that's definitely the one. You know what I mean?
Okay, going back to the worry question, I think that is my only worry that I've had.
What we're gonna name her?
Picking out a name before she's here.
Barbie Phillips asks, when did you two know you were ready to try for a baby? I don't think my hubby is ever going to feel ready, and we have been together almost 11 years. I'm ready as I'll ever be. Any suggestions on calming his mind? I didn't know I was ready for a baby. I still don't feel like I'm ready for a baby.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me, I think, was feeling financially stable enough to bring a baby into the family. And we reached that point, and that I think was the biggest thing for me, deciding if I was ready. Now, mentally, like, it's just a roller coaster of emotions. And before you get pregnant, at least for me, you don't really understand what pregnancy does to you. However, I don't think pregnancy and having a baby is anything that you can fully prepare for. I feel like that's what everyone says, and that's what I'm saying too. But there are certain things you can do to prep and make the best of the situation.
I know for me, personally...
This is a big one. This is actually a really good point. Go ahead.
I know for me personally, like through my mid-20s and stuff, all my friends were still partying and all that stuff. And so I couldn't imagine having a kid at that stage in my life. However, now that I'm to the point where I'm at now, all my friends...
They have kids already.
They already have kids. I'm literally the last of my friends to have kids. And I don't really have the need or desire to go out and party anymore. So I think that also is just kind of like a natural progression in my mind that, yeah, right now is probably a great time to have a kid.
As silly as it may seem, your social life kind of does play a role in deciding whether you're ready or not to have kids.
Yeah, well, FOMO is a real thing, like fear of missing out.
Yeah. We're no professionals at giving advice. That was just a big ramble. So take what you want from it. Stephanie Fernandez says, when did you start having the pregnancy waddle? Also, is it difficult to sleep at night now that you're further along? When did my waddle start?
This week.
This week?
Yeah.
This week, maybe the past couple
And I
weeks.
honestly, it's not even that big of a waddle. It's more just like a side shuffle.
Dun, 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 dun. Sleeping at night is not super difficult. I feel like I've worked out a system. It takes me a little bit to get comfortable at first, but then once I do, and once my belly starts to relax, and once I can actually fall asleep, I do toss and turn a lot throughout the night, but at that point my belly has had some rest and it's a lot easier to get comfortable. Sierra Nebaker asks, what are the physical limits you have to face during your pregnancy? He doesn't have to face any physical limits. Do you?
You.
Given that I was in very good shape before I got pregnant, I feel like my physical limits have been not as much as maybe most people would feel. I don't know. See, every pregnancy is so different. It's hard for me to answer this. The other day in the car, I couldn't bend down and pick up something off the floor. My belly got in the way. I just couldn't reach. So yeah, there are physical limits. Maybe not like a ton, but I definitely can't do so many of the things that I used to be able to do. I can still touch my toes. Ta-da! Like I can still paint my toenails and stuff. Ashley Fry asks, why does Jess get an ultrasound at every prenatal appointment? Is she high risk or is it just her doctor's preference? It's purely my doctor's preference. I've had a lot of women ask me that. I always thought it was normal to get ultrasounds throughout your pregnancy. I've known a lot of people who get ultrasounds every time. And so I really think it's just personal preference of the doctor because my pregnancy is not high risk. Allie Ray Panter asks, how do you think the dogs will react to the baby? I don't know.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think they're going to be super excited and super happy and loving. But at the same time, I worry that Stella might get a little bit jealous and protective. Not necessarily like in a bad way, but more so towards Maple. Stella's always been really, really good with babies and kids and little things. So I don't worry about Stella at all with the baby. However, I do think Stella might try to protect the baby from Maple. So I see there being potentially some issues there.
Some things that we have been doing has been like making sure that the dogs understand that we go down the stairs first so that they aren't like trying to run past us, so that we don't trip and fall down the stairs when we are holding baby.
Just little things like that.
Yeah.
And another thing that some people have told me to do is bring home a hat or a blanket that has the baby's scent on it. So we plan on doing that, is having somebody bring that home so the dogs can sniff it and get used to it before we bring baby here.
I think that'll help a lot.
I think it will. Avoiding the Plump asks, what makes you most nervous about after the baby is here? Like parents' first night feeding or baby's first bath. Also, I can't wait to see the nursery setup. What makes you most nervous about after the baby's here?
You.
Me?
You make me the most nervous.
Why? Because I'm gonna be crazy.
Just postpartum stuff. Like
yeah.
That's my biggest concern. It's not the baby at all.
Postpartum depression, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
in particular?
just anything. I don't know what to expect out of you.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest fear too, is the unknown. Like, I don't know what life is going to be like with a baby. I can only assume from what people have told me that it's absolutely amazing. But it's just the fear of the unknown. And even though I know that unknown is going to be a positive thing, it still kind of scares me. And the postpartum depression also kind of scares me. I've dealt with depression in the past, on and off here and there throughout the pregnancy. So postpartum depression is a concern of mine. And I definitely am going to have that in mind and talk to my doctor about it even before that symptoms start like setting in. Whether they do or not, I don't know, but it's definitely something that is concerning to me and that I want to like definitely be on top of before symptoms get bad enough where I don't want to talk about it. Krista Vlogs asks, what are some things that surprised you the most during the pregnancy? Like one thing that is going better than you thought it would, and one thing that's going worse or not as good as you thought it would. What surprised me the most about pregnancy in general is how different it is than I expected. People can tell you all the things about pregnancy that are gonna happen or that might happen, but they are just so much different than you can imagine. Just pregnancy in general is odd and it's weird and it's beautiful and magical and just so much different than I could have ever imagined. And hard. It's hard.
I will say one thing that I am shocked about is how well you've been eating this entire time, aside from your pint of ice cream.
Yeah, I have been eating pretty well. Multiple reasons. Number one, I haven't had any like weird strong cravings. And number two, I know how much the food that I eat affects my mood. And so that's something I've had to really consider. I shouldn't say my mood, I should say my hormones. It affects my hormone levels and like it throws everything off. Something that's been going worse than I expected it would is my ability to work out. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like so healthy and so fit and I'm gonna be able to do all these things when I'm almost ready to pop. But I thought I was gonna be able to do so much. And I think part of that is because I didn't really know about diastasis recti and that's your ab separation, and I didn't realize how much that was gonna affect me. So a lot of the things that I thought I would be able to do towards the end of my pregnancy, I can't do simply because I don't have the ab strength anymore. Jessica Sanchez asks, how have your workouts changed for you? Do you do anything different? They have changed tremendously. I don't do nearly what I used to do. I am trying to protect my abs from tearing and spreading anymore. So I've been pretty much keeping it to treadmill. I'll walk, I'll do incline intervals, and I still do upper body weights, but I'm not doing nearly as much with my legs. My doctor advised against doing too much with my legs. So my leg workouts have pretty much stuck to some light machine exercises. So that's something I definitely look forward to after the pregnancy, is getting my legs back. How has your workout changed since being pregnant?
It's changed dramatically. I don't go as much as I used to, but I'm changing that this week.
Patrick Sweeney asks, is Jess worried about postpartum depression after the birth? We kind of just touched up on that. Yeah, I think that's a concern for both of us. I also think that's something that is not talked about enough. If I do happen to have it, I will do my best to discuss it with you guys. Depression in general makes you not want to talk about it. But I feel like postpartum depression is a very serious topic, and I think it needs to have some light shed on it. Oh, I'm getting emotional thinking about it, and it scares me.
You'll be fine.
But I will do my best to talk about it if I happen to have it.
Honestly, I don't see Jess getting it. It is a worry of mine, but I don't think she will, simply because I think when baby is here, I think she'll just be beyond happy. You're gonna be placing baby first in that category.
Yeah, I know I'll be placing baby first, but the thing is, like, from my experience, any sort of big life-changing event tends to set me into a state of depression for at least a short amount of time. And so I don't see this as being anything different. I mean, I know it's life-changing for the positive, but it's still life-changing, and even positive changes can cause stress and cause depression in a lot of people. There you have it.
We'll just put our best foot forward.
We'll just do our best. Jamie Brooke asks, do you guys have any special traditions or trips you're excited to experience with a baby girl? Yes, everything. Like, I want to experience everything with our baby girl. I want to make new traditions. I want to adjust old traditions to fit our family. Like, everything. We do have one trip planned with baby.
To Ohio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We plan on going to visit my family for Christmas this year. And so baby will, of course, be coming along with us.
I am personally excited just to have, like, cartoon Saturdays back.
Aww.
Like, being able to sit down on the couch and watch, cartoons and, little, like, shows. And then on top of that, football Sunday. Like,
something that I'm oddly excited for is, like, family breakfasts on the weekends.
yes!
Right? Like, that's something
Yes.
we don't really do as a couple.
And I'm so mad about it. I'm also kind of excited to do sports, because I've never really done sports myself.
I grew up playing a lot of sports, so I am very excited to have my baby girl play some sports. I don't know what kinds.
Snowboarding.
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 Family
little
snowboarding
girl. Rad. Oh, my little girl.
Rawan asks, what's the best part about being pregnant? The best part about being pregnant? There's so many good things about being pregnant. My favorite part about being pregnant is feeling baby move around and kick and wiggle. That's always just, like, so fun. And
Unless it was yesterday where she was kicking you in the bladder and
she was kicking
groin.
me in the cervix. And it was painful, but it was still like, oh, this is cool. Oh, please stop. Like, it hurt, but it's still so amazing.
I know one for you.
What?
Being able to let your belly hang out.
Being able to let my belly hang out. So, like, having a summer pregnancy so far has been great. I haven't had many issues with the heat as of yet, but being able to just, like, let my belly hang out and show off my belly during the summer in my swimsuit, I've loved it. I really have. Nicole King asks, when do you think you will reveal baby Spomer's new nursery? Baby shower's in a week, so hopefully...
Like 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, that would be great. So hopefully in 3 weeks we'll have the nursery reveal ready for you guys. Second part of her question is, do you think that you both are mentally, physically, and emotionally ready for the baby?
Yep.
You're just prepped all around, aren't you?
I am. I'm ready.
Mentally, yes. Physically, yes. Emotionally, debatable. I just don't know how my emotions are gonna play a role in this yet. Either way, I'm gonna make it work. Like, you do what you have to do, whether you're ready or not. Robin Weber says, how have you been dealing with nausea and back pain? I honestly haven't had very much of that at all. My first trimester, I had some nausea. I never threw up, but to deal with the nausea, I would just rest on the couch every so often, in between editing and getting other things done around the house. I had the luxury of working from home, so I could go lay on the couch whenever I felt like I needed to. That was super helpful. As far as back pain goes, I only experienced some minor back pain around 13 weeks, I think right before she kind of started showing. And since then, I haven't really dealt with much back pain at all. But I really think that staying active throughout my pregnancy has helped with that. Courtney Thomas wants to know what it feels like when baby kicks. That is so hard for me to explain. At first, it felt like gas bubbles. As baby gets bigger and stronger, it's almost like a thump. Like if you were to, see, that's not even it. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
Well, because it's not a sudden hit. It's kind of just like a pressing.
Sometimes it's a sudden hit.
Well, but I mean, like...
Sometimes it's a very sudden hit.
But they don't have that much room, you know what I mean? So it's not like they can... It's not like they have space between you and them to then hit.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah. There was one day, I don't know what she was doing, but if I could imagine what she was doing, it was like this. I really can't describe what it feels like. It's totally unique. Totally unique. It's really, really cool. Tiffany Yarber says, is Jess going to have a natural birth or does she want an epidural? I'm planning on having an epidural. I'm not confident enough with myself to go the natural way quite yet. Emily Hubbard asks, how do you guys feel now versus before pregnancy on being ready for kids? I'm 24 and can't even imagine having kids, so I'm curious if all the hormones and stuff really helps with all the feelings. So the weird thing is, I feel like the older I got, the more I realized how life-changing and how much of a responsibility having a child was. So I feel like the older I got, the less ready I felt in a lot of ways.
I remember before we got pregnant that you and I both were like, I don't know if we're ready for kids.
Yeah, we didn't feel like we were really quite ready.
Because there were things that we wanted to do, like traveling and a lot of things that were more so selfish.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you got to do you before the baby comes.
Yeah. Danielle Craig asks, are you planning on doing a what's in your hospital bag video? Yes, stay tuned. I do plan on doing one of those. I have no idea as of right now what I'm going to put in my hospital bag. And last but not least, the Creepy Kingdom asks, what's your birth plan and what are some of your main concerns with the labor and delivery? Birth plan, get the baby out of me. I do plan on having an epidural. I mean, other than that, my doctor and I haven't really talked too much detail about the birth plan yet. So more details on that to come. Some of the things that I'm concerned about with labor and delivery is just everything going smoothly. I know that there can be complications, and if those arise, I just hope that it all goes the best that it possibly can. Anything that you're concerned about with the labor and delivery?
I mean, I think anything that could like threaten our baby's life is obviously...
Or my life.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, did you see that? I think just the way modern medicine is, there's a lot of things that they can do to prevent / fix issues that arise. So I'm not super concerned about these things, although it is in the back of my mind that something could come up, but I feel like we're as prepared as anyone to deal with those things.
I am a little bit worried about getting the most dope pregnancy delivery video for you guys.
Oh gosh. But we do plan on making a vlog and a birth video and everything about the delivery, so.
Yeah, and then as far as like me in the delivery, I just hope I don't pass out. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
The doctor last time we were there said if you even want to help a little bit with delivering the baby, we can talk about that. And I looked at Austin and I said, are you gonna even be able to handle that? Like, you kind of lose breath at the sight of blood sometimes.
I don't lose breath at the sight of blood, okay? It has to be more than blood for me.
Okay, well there's gonna be a lot more than blood, so.
Yeah, that might be stuff I may just not want to see.
I just might need you by my side.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's a good spot.
I think that's a good start. Hopefully it was helpful for some of you. Hopefully it was eye-opening for some things, and hopefully we answered your questions.
Definitely.
The way you wanted them to be answered. Or not. I don't know.
You can definitely tell you have a little bit of pregnancy brain.
I have so much pregnancy brain. I couldn't even remember my phone number the other day for a
That's something
moment.
you didn't even touch on this.
I feel like I can't fully complete my sentences without having to stop and think about it.
If there's anything else you guys would like us to film specific to pregnancy, something like this, or if there's, aside from like the nursery reveal or what's in my bag, any sort of like specific pregnancy videos, let us know down in the comments. But I think this was a lot of fun. You guys had a lot of great questions.
Yes,
we hope
thank you for all your questions.
I think we're all just excited for August to get here.
Oh,
Meet cute little
it's
baby.
coming so soon.
Please continue leaving us name suggestions.
Please.
Because like we said, we're not playing around. We seriously still don't know the name of our baby. But maybe one day all of a sudden, like a name
We'll
that we've
see
looked
something.
over a million times, all of a
Maybe
sudden just
sometimes
clicks.
it'll click.
But thanks so much for tuning in. We love you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.